Good morning, guys. So we are back in the workshop and it is like 7 o'clock in the morning, and if you hear horns in the background, that is because our farmers in Germany are going wild on the streets, so bear with me. And today I've got a pretty cool project because I am taking a part in a knife making award at my next knife show, and I have these two designs which you can barely see, but I will show you later. And one of them will be in the knife show, it will be displayed, and I have the chance to win an award. So I have the plan to make this knife, and I will make a couple of knives, probably making 5 knives in different styles, and in the end you guys and the guys on Instagram can decide which knife should I present at the award. So let's stop talking and start working on this beautiful knife. So here you can see the design a little bit better. This is my Wolverine lineup. This one is the bigger one and this one is the smaller one. And you already had to submit some pictures and some measurements for the knife. So I submitted the smaller one as like a hunting knife style outdoor knife. So we will make this one, and we'll also make this one because I want to take a couple with me onto the show, and I've got some cool plans on how we are making the handle. Normally I would oh, here's my table, come on fat ass. So normally I would get these templates water jet cut out to just save some time, but the knife show is in like 2 weeks or so, and I don't have the timeline to wait on the water jet guys to cut it out, send it back to me, and then I can work on these knives. So I have to start right now. Alright guys, so the templates are now done. I've also drilled out the holes for the pins that I will drill out later, and now I have the steel right here and my scribing needle and some blue Dicam to lay out these knives. And with these clamps I can just clamp these knives down and then just going to scribe along. So I just set myself on fire. So with no further intervention, by setting myself on fire, I've got all these knives roughly profiled with the angle grinder. So the knives are now ready to be ground, and before I want to do the main bevel, I want to do a swedge on some of these knives, or you also may know it as a false edge. So a false edge or a swedge is something that you grind up on the spine of the knife. I just have drawn it in right here, and it won't be sharpened in the end, but it will look like a second edge, and it can look really cool, especially on these curved recurved knives and on these bigger knives. The swedge is now ground, and now I can start roughing out the main bevel. I won't finish up the whole bevel before heat treatment, so I will leave the edge quite thick because I want to thin them down and make a convex grind on these knives after the heat treatment. And you also want to leave those knives not too thinly ground before heat treatment because we don't want to have any warps to happen. So I'm done now with the pre-heat treatment grind and I'm ready to put these knives into the oven. So these knives are made out of 80 CRV2, which is a carbon steel. So therefore I'm going to heat treat them in quenching oil. So the knives are now hardened and tempered, so I can put some fresh belts onto my belt grinder and finish those grinds. So I'm done now with the 60 grit on these knives, and now I have changed my belt grinder to 120 grit ceramic belt. So the flat grinding is now done, and as I said before, I want to do a convex grind on these knives. And with this attachment right here, I have a rotary platen, and this one has another belt. So it is like an internal belt, and this belt has a little bit of give, so you can just adjust it however you want it and how much slack you want to have in your belt. And with that attachment you can really nicely grind your edges a little bit more convex instead of just a flat grind. So all of the knives are now finished ground, so I can now work on the handles. So for the handles I have a lot of variations right here. We've got some fat carbon, I've got a new G10 which I want to try out, which is like a camo. Also want to do some classic wood handles in wood, of course. And we've also got some just OD green with black liner, and some OD green with orange liner, and also some micarta right here. So the handles are now nearly ready to be glued up. I've also traced out the outline of the handle, because before I want to glue them up, I have to finish up this front portion of the handle, and I also want to remove as much material as I can before I start gluing them up, so I don't have to do that later when the knife is attached. So the handle scales are now ready to be glued up, so I will do that now so the glue can dry for 24 hours, so in the next day I can start working on those handles. So the knives are now glued up and now I can start working on the handles. On some handles I have to be really carefully because they got brass pins and you don't want to overheat those brass pins because that could ruin the epoxy glue up. So the first step will be that I will remove the pin so I have a flat surface on those handles, and after that I will refine the shape of those cutout handle scales to fit to the knife. And after that I'm going to move to my flat pattern and my contact wheel, because most of these knives won't get rock pattern because I want to try something different, and I've got some cool ideas how I can integrate the rock pattern in some really cool, nice formed handles. So the rough shaping on the belt grinder is done. So what I did with most of these knives, I made like a Coke bottle handle shape, but I also wanted to try to integrate the rock pattern to it. So here you can see the Coke bottle shape of the knife and how it flows into the rock pattern, and it still has a contoured handle. All right guys, so the handles are now shaped, and you can also see it right here. All the handles are now waiting for their acid bath, and for the sandblasting, these wooden handles I have taped up so don't damage these knives during the sandblasting with the high polished handles. So all of the knives are now done, and now I need your help. So as I said before, these knives will go to a knife making award in a couple of weeks, and you guys have to decide which knife I should put into the award. So here we have all of the knives, and this one I made quite a while ago. You saw this one in another video, but it's the same design. This one is out of Magna Cut and all of the others are out of ADCRV. Into the award, just the smaller knives can go because I have already submitted the design. So the big ones will fall out of this. So I need your help to decide which of these smaller ones I should submit. So I could have also done like a Damascus knife with mammoth ivory, and that will probably win a knife like that. But I just wanted to submit my style, stonewash, rock pattern, and maybe a different kind of handle style. We'll see what you guys decide. And the cool thing about these knives, which I try to do, is we have a shaped handle, but we still also have some rock patterns, so you still have a really nice comfortable grip, especially on a chopping knife. Also on the bigger ones you have a really thick grip, but still we have that really cool rock pattern. And I've also made some classical knives right here because I want to present them at the show. And this one of course has no rock pattern with walnut handle right here. So I hope you can help me out with finding the knife which I should submit, and I hope you enjoyed this video on how I created these knives. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I have much more content planned. If you want to see that, just hit that subscribe button and that bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see us in the next one.